I made a DS account on Twitter because I wanted attention from everyone, and then I got sexualized by everyone. Hello everyone. First of all, I am very sorry that I disappeared, I think for like 2 to 3 weeks. 3 weeks, good. It was because I had influenza A. It took me like 2 weeks to finally get like, not better, but sort of better. The other 1 week, I was just lazy, and I don't have any like juicy story to tell y'all, but I received multiple juicy DMs, so I guess we're back on track. Yeah, today's story I think is going to be quite long. The screenshots and like the DMs itself is like around I think 12 pages long, so sit back, relax, you know, get your laundry for you to lipat or get some kodok pisang or whatever, and let's get on with today's story. Hello everyone, we're back with another story. This is another one of the story submissions in my DMs. Anyways, today's story started with a girl, and we're gonna call her Rihanna. So in the beginning of her DM, Rihanna said that she's like built socially awkward. She, you know, since she was little, she never really know how to talk to people, and you know, she never had a boyfriend until the age of 24, which is normal, by the way. I personally started dating when I was like 23. It's not that serious. During the COVID, like the entire COVID thing, so everyone's on lockdown, right? So our girl Rihanna was, you know, using Twitter at that time, I think. Yeah, she was very active on Twitter. And then there she met a guy. She fell in love with a stranger. And this stranger, we're gonna call him Chris Brown. At that time, when Rihanna was 23, Chris Brown was 25, and Rihanna at that time thought that, you know, he was the love of her life because they just clicked. Rihanna was an introvert, Chris Brown was an introvert. Rihanna never really had a lot of friends growing up, and it's the same for Chris Brown. Other than the whole relationship thing that went on at that time, also Rihanna was actively looking for an internship placement, and she finally got an internship placement, and it was in KL. And I'm guessing Rihanna was not from KL, so she traveled to KL to, you know, go through, you know, internship. And that's when she found out that the guy Chris Brown actually works at a company that's like right beside the company that she was interning at. So obviously at that point Rihanna was like, oh my god, this must have been God's plan, because like what are the odds that the guy that I'm in love with works in a company just like right beside mine? Not gonna lie, I don't blame Rihanna. I would have been that delusional as well, because like you're just talking to this random guy on Twitter, and then suddenly you're like in love with him, and then you found out that, oh, he worked in a company just like right beside mine, and like we can see each other like often, and that's what they did. And you know, they see each other every day, they're all like very lovey-dovey. But it got to a point where the guy Chris Brown started to touch her inappropriately, and they started to do things like, you know, kiss each other, and then they would do a whole lot of other things in the car. And this is all like it was all consented by our girl Rihanna, obviously. However, it just made her very, very sad. Basically, she said that she looked at Chris Brown differently after, you know, everything that they did in the car, because she felt like he only looked at her as an item, and you know, like he only looked at her when he's like turned on or something like that. And that made her feel sad, because now she thought that, you know, he's only with her because of all of those stuff and not because of love. Sure, at that time they never really slept with each other, they never really like go through all the way, but like whenever they did those sort of things, she just felt like dirty even though she consented to it, it's often like afterwards that she felt like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Now, things got worse because after 5 months of her doing her internship there, she found out that she had to break up with Chris Brown because Chris Brown decided to marry his own cousin. And at that time, Rihanna was shocked because she was like fully in love with him. So then they broke up the last day of her internship, and then she went back to her hometown, which shocked her parents because she was very adamant. Like before she came to KL, she was very adamant that she wanted to continue working in KL. She told her parents that, hey, after this internship ended, I'm gonna like work in KL. But since like her internship ended and she also broke up with the guy, she was so heartbroken that she went back to her hometown. So once she got back to her hometown, she was heartbroken and she felt like dirty because she was touched by this guy sort of, and she felt like off about those sort of things, and she needed to talk to her friends badly about all of these things. But at the same time, her friends, they couldn't really focus on her at that time for some other reason. And so whenever she tried to talk to her friends about like the stuff that she went through, they never really cared. And because of that, at that point, I understand Rihanna, she was very desperate for not attention, I would say, but more like she just wanted to communicate. She wanted to talk to someone about what she was going through and everything. And you would have never guessed how she decided to achieve this. She decided to create a DS account on Twitter. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, DS accounts on Twitter meant dark side accounts on Twitter. She said that she, made a thread about this guy on Twitter using her, like, not her DS account, but just like normal Twitter account. But that didn't get like anyone's attention, like no one reacted to that. So that's why she decided to go to a darker path, and she made a dark side account on Twitter so that she could get attention and love and affection. And obviously after that, she got what she wanted, because apparently in her DM, she said that she has a very petite body type, but she has a pear body shape, so a lot of men really like that. They like her body shape, I guess. And she said at that time she was quite okay, even though she was still heartbroken, but at the same time she's like okay with all the attention that she's receiving. She's getting like all of this attention from men, but they're not the right attention, obviously, because every single male that approached her at that time just wanted to have sex with her, basically. But obviously she never said yes to any of these advances. She was just there solely for attention, and she treated everyone in general sort of the same. Here's the thing, right? Like, if any of you guys are going through sort of like a similar situation that Rihanna was going through, I would suggest to not make a DS account on Twitter, because number one, it is very dangerous. Number two, you're just gonna regret it later on. And also the attention that you're gonna get is gonna be the wrong kind of attention, unless you want to get like monetary gain from it. Then by all means, do what you need to do. But if you're just looking for attention, I would suggest for you to just download dating apps. At this point, I feel like Tinder or whatever should like sponsor me, because I'm like y'all should download dating apps. If you're like bored and you're like craving for attention, whatever, download dating apps, because they're a lot safer than DS account. You might think that it's not safe, but like you should be smart about it. Like on Tinder, you can't share pictures, you can't like exchange like noodles or whatever, so it's quite safe. So if you crave attention, just go over there. Anyways, back to the story. So Rihanna said that there were a lot of men that surprisingly were up to conversing with her and listen to her story and just talk to her in general. But there's this one particular guy that she was attracted to, and somehow it got to a point where she somehow got into like a friends with benefit sort of relationship with him. I think at the beginning of like the whole thing, Rihanna knew about it, but she was too attracted to him to care. So she got into this like little relationship with him, but she never really went through all the way. She never really went with him anywhere all the way, if you know what I mean. So she was still a virgin at the time, and eventually she broke up with him because all he ever wanted was her body. Obviously, because he found you through DS. You know what? It's fine. After she stopped being in that FWB relationship with the Twitter DS guy, she was talking to multiple men until she was drawn to this one guy. He was very low profile, and she said that he's not perverted like the rest of them. He was very steady, he was very calm, and because of that she made the first move. And they started talking about each other's lives and how each of their lives, like at that time, were both sort of sad, and she felt like she could click with him and she felt like she could be safe with him. This guy, we're gonna call him ASAP Rocky. So Rihanna and ASAP, they were chatting every single day, and Rihanna found out that he's not like wild like the other men who joined the DS society or whatever. And before this, she was talking to all of the men who messaged her, but right after she met and she found ASAP, she stopped talking to the rest of them. They talked to each other often, they talked to each other all the time, and then they got to a point when they finally were ready to meet each other face to face. And when Rihanna met ASAP for the first time, she immediately asked him to be her boyfriend because he was very handsome. That's what she said in this DM. And she said that ASAP obviously agreed because ASAP also liked her, and this is what she said, by the way, in her DM. He likes her because she's petite and cute, and even though Rihanna's like a year older than him, she didn't seem that way because she's just so petite. So yeah, they started to fall in love with each other. They started dating, and then after I think a few months of knowing him, Rihanna said that she learned that he is still a pervert, but just a normal amount. Legit, that's what she said. She literally said, lepas kenal dia memang betul lah dia pervert je, tapi level biasa. Legit, she said in her DM that dia low profile punya pervert. Kita tak tahu ada jenis-jenis pervert macam tu, kita tak tahu ada level-level dia. And eventually their relationship turned 2 years. Like they were together for 2 years. And Rihanna said that eventually ASAP took her virginity. So the reason why she submitted this story is because even though it's been 2 years, she felt like their relationship is not going anywhere. She said that she's like 27, she's nearly 27, and she kept asking him about engagements or like weddings or marriage or whatever, and he kept telling her that he's not ready financially and everything, and Rihanna is very, very disappointed at that. And it was sort of, I think it was big on the fact that he took her virginity. So she felt like she needed some kind of like commitment from him because she felt like she gave him a big part of herself, which she did. And Rihanna said that she met his entire family already, and every single one of his family members really, really love her because she's like very independent. She's a perfect woman. Everyone was amazed with her career achievements in life and everything. And obviously ASAP also met Rihanna's family. Like he went back to her hometown and met everyone. Obviously everyone also loved him. So I think what Rihanna was trying to say here is that like they don't have problems in the sense that their family tak agree or whatever. Like both families, both sides were okay, like are okay with their relationship. It's just that ASAP kept saying that he's not ready. Rihanna said that even her mom, who was like sort of waiting for Rihanna to get married, sort of like she's growing tired already. I understand. I mean, it's not like it's annoying that, you know, most mothers nowadays, they kept like thinking, oh, kalau, you know, no one's gonna marry my daughter, who's gonna take care of her and everything. But at the same time, I understand, because it's just our culture and it's just the way that, you know, like Malay mothers think. So yeah, I think what her mother was feeling also sort of like pressured Rihanna into pressuring ASAP to like marry her. And Rihanna kept saying that she felt like ASAP's not serious with her, and whenever she mentioned about marriage or whatever, he kept dismissing it, and he was like, oh, you know, I can't do it, I have financial problems or whatever. But every time he wanted to have sex with her, he would just invite her to like hotels and everything. So Rihanna was always thinking like, oh, so if like whenever you want to have sex with me, you have money for all these like fancy hotels or whatever, but when I talk about marriage, suddenly you don't have money for that. So that's sus. And she was so mad about it, to the point that she said that she just texted when she was, you know, writing this DM, obviously she texted ASAP's mother. Basically, she said to ASAP's mother that she wanted the relationship to be more serious. However, you know, ASAP never really gave any effort and whatever. She inserted like a screenshot of the conversations between her and his mom, and basically his mom said that, you know, she already asked ASAP about it, but ASAP kept telling her that, you know, he doesn't have enough money for the wedding and everything. He doesn't even have enough money for a ring, which is, I think, which is like, excuse my language, is a bit bull, because if you have money for like hotels and everything, you should have money for a ring. So obviously Rihanna was frustrated and mad, because why is it that it's like it's always her? Like, why is it yang she's the one who needs to make the first move? She's the one who asks. She's the one who needs to ask his mother about whether or not he wants to marry her or not. Because I understand that's sort of, I feel like I wouldn't do that, because it diminish my ego a bit. So I understand where she's coming from, but she was just too frustrated about the fact that she's like waiting for so long, and how she felt like, oh, it's not serious, like the relationship is not serious, whatever. So eventually she did reach out to his mom. The thing about me is that I don't think he has any sort of problems. I mean, okay lah, maybe he does have like a bit of financial issues, and he couldn't like afford a wedding yet, but I feel like it's not that. I feel like he's just not ready for commitment yet. He's not ready to be tied down with just one woman. And you know, she ended her DM by saying that she wished that I would post her story, because she's like, dia dahagakan attention semua orang. That's what she said in this DM. And she just said that, I just nak orang tahu yang perempuan macam I wujud. I'm independent, I'm, you know, successful, I have a career, but you know, sebenarnya loser, tak ada siapa sayang, dah lose virginity, dah kotor, tapi tak ada siapa tahu. I'm munafik dan kekal bertudung macam biasa. And sebelum ni I tak pernah pun terjebak dalam dunia DS, and I dah delete account DS lepas jumpa boyfriend I, and hanya check in dengan dia seorang sahaja. I think most of us here speak Malay, but if you don't, just comment down below and I'll tell you what it means. Okay, yeah, I think, okay, so the thing is, I don't particularly care that whatever that you guys are doing out there, I don't care, like, you wanna like get it before marriage or whatever. I don't think I should care, whatever, but I feel like you should think about it before you were to do it, because how it affects us women is very different than how it affects men. And also, just because you've done it, it doesn't make you kotor, it doesn't make you jijik, it doesn't make because I've received multiple DMs before this who said that, oh, I feel like God cannot forgive me after I've done those, you know, before marriage. God is forgiving. He can forgive you. Don't hurt yourself more than you're already hurting. So yeah, I hope that Rihanna gets whatever it is that she wants, or maybe she gets whatever it is that God thinks that is better for her. And you know, you guys stay safe out there. You know, have fun, but think about the kind of fun that you want to have and how it might affect your future. Yeah, wow, I feel like I'm such a big sister today, and I feel like I'm very sorry if I came across as judgmental in this episode. I'm not, but I'm just worried about you guys out there. I swear to you, I'm not judging you on your decisions. It's just that sometimes I just wish that we all can just live in one house and we can talk about things every single day before you guys go out there and make big decisions for yourself. But yeah, I guess that's all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it until here, thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video if you haven't already. I post more short stories on my TikTok, so just go follow my TikTok if you haven't already. And of course, go follow me on Instagram if you want to be my friend. Again, thank you so much for watching. I guess that's it. If you guys have any other stories of your own that you would like to share, my emails and my DMs are always open for both men and women. See you next week, everyone. Have a nice day. Bye.